Max, welcome, mate. Thank you so much.
Well, thanks for having me, James, man. It's really a pleasure to be on your podcast today.
It's an honour, mate. You know, you and I, we know each other through a community called the Fast Lane Accelerator, which is for high successful entrepreneurs and professionals. And we connected through there, but it was interesting just learning about your story. But for those people that don't know who you are, Max, are you able to just sort of share a bit of a brief journey so far on where you got today?
Well, I'm pretty much the average Joe because I've been working in the construction for about 25 years now, and I came up on J. Chris Mentor's page about a year and a half ago, and something about him struck me, and but I wasn't ready to invest in it myself as I was a couple of months ago when I started to jump in the fast lane with you guys and with Jay. So I started with this, and down the line, what I've realized being in the fast lane accelerator with you guys is it's all about getting in the growth and self-development, which I was a bit prior to stumble on Jay's page, but never at the investment of time and effort that I am right now. So yeah, it all went so fast since like it's been 9 months now, and everything went so fast. So yeah.
You've made some massive gains, mate. Like, I've just watched you along the journey and just what you've achieved so far. It's pretty fucking incredible. And your transformation is not just in your personal development, but also your physicality as well. You are the most leanest and most shredded I have ever seen you, mate. But can you talk about your fitness journey?
Well, this is an old other story because I've been training for a lot of years, like around 15 years now. But when I became a father, the thing was my wife had a rough patch in the first year. So I had to invest a lot of time in the family, which is great because it helped me a lot to find out who the man I was really inside. But along the line, what I was doing is I was investing so much time in my family that I was letting myself go. And so I lost all the gain that I have in the physique because it's not the first time in my life that I'm having that physique right now. But down the line, father life, family life, obligation, work, stress, and then came too much alcohol and everything like that. I let myself go, and really I forgot about taking care about myself. And about like when my daughter was about 3 years old, I realized that I was letting myself go bad. So I tried to start back my fitness game and start to have some fun again with training, and really nothing stuck. And down the line, I found like that Jay's page and everything, and it gave me a little kick to regain the confidence that I lost of taking care too much of my family and not enough about myself. And here I am today. I mean, it's been like about what, 7 months? Maybe I skipped like 8 days in the 7 months not training. I'm training every day and enjoying myself. So came like the idea of starting the business of father empowering throughout those 7 months, and it's really been an idea that was forming in the principle of helping out fathers at first. And what I've realized by trying to help so much fathers is everybody was a bit just like me. We just let ourselves go and we forgot to take care of ourselves. So I was always ending up telling the guys that they just have to start working out and take care of their mental health and journaling and everything like that. And down the line, it's all about fitness at the end. So I started to just say, fuck it, I'm going to be just throwing the father right in under the bus and train their ass off, put them on a good diet, nutritionally, and like the rest take care of itself. So that's pretty much it.
Yeah, it's amazing the journey that you've been on, Max. you've just transformed into this high successful entrepreneur. But more importantly, your physicality and just your body composition has just changed quite significantly. But talk to us a little bit about father empowerment, mate, because I know there's a lot of dads out there that really do struggle juggling a business, raising kids, working on their own sort of health. But talk to us a little bit about that, mate, and what you offer fathers out there.
Well, it's father empowering.
Father empowering.
Yeah, well, no big deal. You're not the first one. So yeah, well, the idea came up. We were scrambling some ideas back and forth, me and Jay, and he just came like to me and says, he said to me something in the line of, "You're a great fucking dad. Why don't you just like double down on that?" I said, "Yeah, you're right. I am a fucking great dad after all, because even though I was letting myself go, I was all in with my family and everything." So I started to browse some idea by myself, taking piece of paper here and there, Post-its and stuff like that. And father empowering came up, and I said, yeah, I'm going to stick to that. I like that a lot. And I built like the 4 pillars: discipline, integrity, self-worth, and accountability. So I started to build father empowering around that, because those are core values to me, and I think it resonates with a lot of fathers. And yeah, so I started to put that online, speak with as many fathers as I could, and realized that I was not the only one in my position a couple of years ago. And most and foremost, people around me that I spoke with, like the decision making they had was poor, their health is poor, their mental health is poor, always looking for an escape out of their house, not happy, trouble talking with their wife. So the more I was speaking with the guys, I said, I have to do something, but what? I'm just one man. So I start learning a lot and reading a lot and helping as much father as I can. And like I said prior, it always came back to be in good shape, take care of yourself, love yourself, and the rest just fall down in place. And I have to say that I realized that myself. The more I was working on father empowering, the more I realized that I was working on myself, and all of the thing around me just fall into places so easily after that.
Yeah. Yes. It's interesting. Like we were talking the other week about the analogy when you're on a plane and the oxygen masks fall down, you put on your own mask first before you can help other people. And I think it's not a selfish act, because everyone benefits from you leveling up. And I think the byproduct of getting better physically, emotionally, mentally, working on personal development is it helps not only you, but it just ripple affects everybody around you. And have you noticed also that there are more opportunities with not just your personal development and your business, but I'm sure you must feel pretty good, mate, on how far you've come.
Oh, 100%. There's been some changing in my life, and things just seems to appear like magic. The way I act, the way I present myself, there's so many things that happen. It's hard just to pick a few for real. I was at an event, and a guy, really rich guy, actually let me drove his like 69 pink Cadillac or some stuff like that. I'm not good with cars, but
yeah,
it's a really fucking expensive old car. And he said to me, you know what, just pick it up and drive it for me to the parking lot. I trust you. And I just spoke to the guy about like 20 minutes, and I asked him if I could drive it. And he said yes. Things that I wouldn't done a year ago because I was lacking confidence. Because I don't know cars, but I like cars. And I said, I would like to test drive it. It was kind of a joke, but deep down in me, I was like really serious about it. And I think the guy felt it, and he just said, yeah, go ahead. It's the way I present myself, the way I look, the energy I put out there. It's contagious, and it shows. Yeah. Lots of things can happen when you start having confidence in yourself.
Yes, 100%, mate. No, I totally agree with you. What have you found are some of the core problems that a lot of fathers out there have with raising a family, but also working on themselves, because this is all the things that you work on with some of the dads out there. But what are some of the common problems that a lot of fathers are grappling with?
Well, first and foremost, I believe it's accountability. Blaming the other is always the easy route, and men tends to do that a lot. But the worst is that they're not doing it in the face of their wife. They're doing it on the job site. They're doing it at the office. They're doing it at the pub. They're doing it with friends, and they really never address the problem at home. So here comes the second biggest problem. It's communication, and like it's like putting on a contract with you and your wife. What values that really ingrain in one to another, that's going to build that big house of you, to have that immense energy and love in it. So like those two are like big issues. Accountability from the man, the guy I'm working with, and after that is to communicate your values, and are they according with the wife? Because after that, I mean, everything's on the table, everything's transparent. You know what to expect from one another, and from there it's just, okay, I love you, you love me, this is my values, this is your values. Some of them align with mine, some of them don't, but I'm going to work around some because I really care for you. And this is the kind of thing you should do in the first 5 dates with a woman, actually. But it's never been told nor been done, because it like, love is an emotion, and you first get married by emotion, but like you get divorced really logically. So it should be like you should be getting on a date and engage with someone logically with the emotion of love. So yeah, accountability and really communication about values, those two lacks a lot.
Yes. Do you know the entrepreneur Patrick Bet-David, mate?
Kind of.
Yeah, so I remember listening to him. There was an interview that he did, and when he met his wife, his now wife, he gave her a book. I can't remember what the book was, and he asked her if you wouldn't mind reading it. And he said he was at a point in his life that he wanted to, get married and start a family, and also work out if his values aligned with his current wife. But it was interesting, because these are important discussions that I think a lot of dads out there, need to have, especially with starting a business or going the entrepreneurial route. Is they have to talk about the difficult questions.
Yep.
Where do we see ourselves in the next 5 years? Are you with me on my mission? And I think that the one thing that I really think is important is if your partner is on the same mission as you are, because she's going to benefit just as much as you are. I use this all the time, but if you look at Conor McGregor, 2-time UFC champion, his wife, Dee Devlin, was with him from the ground up. When Conor McGregor was just on welfare, he just couldn't afford anything, but she was just with him like she was his cheerleader. And having your supportive partner and helping you on your mission, the byproduct is she gets benefit from it, you get benefit, but also you're raising a healthier family. Yeah, but what would success mean to you, Max? What does success mean to you?
Oh, well, like success is a big word. Like it's like happiness. Success is just what you made out of it, like what you make of it. I feel like I'm pretty successful right now. I mean, at 41 years old, I'm healthy. I'm able to do the activity I like. Like I got that big dream of mine that just popped up this summer. It's like I want to start to do some ultra races. For some of you that know me, like Cam Haines is kind of a silent mentor of mine, and this guy is just like incredibly disciplined and committed.
Ultra marathons?
Yep, I want to do like 100-milers, multiple day runs. This is like it's an itch. I got that itch now, so I got to scratch it and live it to the fullest, or else one day I'm just gonna turn around and say, nah, it's gonna be too late. So I'm healthy, I'm fit, I feel like I'm successful, and so yeah, that's pretty much what success is to me. There's all those material thing, of course, and being able to maybe travel more and show more to the world to my daughter. And we talked about that a lot. Who knows where Father Empowering will be in 10 years? I got a mission, I got a plan, but who knows what will happen? I'm working my ass for it to work. But I mean, my wife's love me. She supports me. My daughters, it's like I'm her biggest fan from afar. I mean, and we have a really healthy relationship. We talk a lot. We play together as much as I can, of course. And what else can I have?
Yes. So how have you approached setback and failures, Max? And what would you say are some of the lessons that you've learned along the way?
I've learned a lot of lessons. I've learned a lot throughout the years, but especially for the last year, because I'm talking about father empowering right now. What I've learned is whatever you're gonna have or you're working towards, you have to show up to prepare yourself. It's like I know you're in big time martial artists, so the way I approach like the lesson I've learned is the way I'm approaching any objective now is with preparation to the best of my abilities and working every day towards it. What else is there to do? I mean, that that's it. I don't know if you fight professionally, but I guess it's pretty much the same. You prepare, you work every day in the camp, and one day the bout is about to begin, and you're as prepared as you could be, and the rest is just going to happen. So that's what I've learned. Be prepared for your next objective. Always, always. There's always a next step. There's always a next objective. There's always something more that you can achieve. And I'm not talking about like big dreams or having a yacht or some like material stuff. I'm talking self-development. The more you stay sharp and prepare on your next objective, well, the opportunity will come and you would have that skill set in your pocket to respond to it. So, yep, that's it.
Yes. Love that, mate. And I talk with a lot of high performance entrepreneurs, and it's interesting. Whenever I talk to these people, they're very driven, they're very ambitious, but they all have certain habits that they implement day in, day out, whether it's gratitude, journaling, not just nutrition, but what about your habits, mate? Because you're in peak physical condition, mate. You are shredded as fuck, and it's really amazing. And just what an inspiring person you are, mate. Inspiring a lot of dads out there. But what are some of the habits and practices that you do every day?
Well, like there's about that. There's a physical plane and there's a mental plane and there's a spiritual plane. So I'm going to start with the physical plane. So the deal is obviously, and you hear that a lot on social, it's when you say you're going to wake up at one time, just wake up at that hour. Okay. But if it doesn't happen for some reason, because sometimes you can get tired as fuck running, training, achieving goals. So I don't bash myself if I don't wake up. I snooze. It happens. Yeah, I snooze.
We're only human,
okay?
Mate.
Yeah, and that's it. But what I'm doing every day is obviously those kind of non-negotiables, which are for me is yoga, stretching every morning. If it's 15 minutes, it's 15. If it's 10, it's 10. If it's a half an hour, it's half an hour. But usually I like half an hour stretching. And after that, it's just my day. My day goes off like I've been doing for the past 25 years. I just write down my gratitude and I go to work and then I come back, I take a shower, go to the gym, go run. And I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I'm like the average Joe. It's just the same. It's not the same because I'm working out consistently and with intention. I think that the intention behind my training is what separates me from other people that are going to the gym. I'm training for my next objective. So
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
that's where I get results. And this is why I'm able to get, when I need to be shred, let's say I want to make a video that's going to perform well on social, because for marketing, I have to do that. Well, I'm just going to make a specific training with like lots of epoch after it, like, to make sure that I'm going to get leaner in 3 days. And if I need to have like lots of energy for a run, I make sure to eat enough carbs. It's like all the knowledge that came with training for so long. But I don't really have that non-negotiable kind of day. It's just a day for me. I could not put it on paper, really. I've been doing that for so long, waking up early, training every day, discipline. But if there's one thing I can say about my daily is I love myself, not egotistically, not egotistically, but love yourself for what you're doing and what you bring into the world. And this is something I've been doing for many years now. Just enjoy
Yeah.
and love yourself.
Yes. Are you familiar, mate, with the Japanese proverb Kaizen?
I've heard something about it, but it never stuck.
Yeah. So most people overestimate what they can do in a year and underestimate what they can do in 5 years. And Kaizen basically reflects on doing small incremental daily practices every day, because I think you can reinvent yourself when between 3 to 5 years. And I think it's doing the things that you need to be doing every day to give it a better outcome. So whether it's waking up that 1 minute earlier, whether it's drinking that extra liter of water in the day, whether it's doing an extra cardio session, whatever you do, it's conducting daily small practices to give you that 1% better edge. And I think I reflect on Kaizen in my own development, and I think it's interesting, with some of the principles and values that you sort of set for yourself. And I think that has a huge, profound effect, not just in where you see yourself in 3 to 5 years, but also I think the impact that you can actually, it just manifests everywhere in your life, mate. And talk to me about that, mate. Talk to me about some of the people in your life and how have they sort of found the impact that you're currently making, because you're doing some amazing things.
Well, thanks for that. Yeah, I'm doing like phenomenal things around, basically around my neighborhood and with people I work right now, and it shows. But like, something that came to me 2 years ago, I was in a program called The Process. It's an elite program. I'm not sure I'm allowed to disclose a lot about it because I signed an agreement not to say a lot about that. But it's a fucking great program, and I recall having a discussion with one of the guys there, and I said that all I want to do is to reignite the light inside me, to be able to shine it bright on others. And I mean, like 2 years ago, that discussion occurred, and from there, I mean, I changed, and everything down that discussion to today, it's been just straight up, and I'm shining the light as bright as I can for people around me to get affected positively by it. It's all positive. It's all great. Focus energy on giving and receiving. It's all about like being happy all the time for me, but not being dumb happy, like everything's going to be okay, everything's going to be all right. No, it's just being happy and truly happy and grateful for what I have, because I'm living a life that I'm sure lots of people envy, and for me it's just normal life. But I realize that by shining that light so brightly, I can give what I've felt natural to me. I can give that to people that maybe would like to have a life like mine.
Yes, yes. So what are some of the techniques and strategies that you implement in your entrepreneurial journey? Like, what are some of the business practices that you preach of?
Well, it's obviously the 1% better. This is like, an obligatory one. You got to work every day on your business, or else nothing's gonna happen. And since I'm kind of brand new to that, I learned a great deal with the mentorship with Jay. But I'm kind of still new to the business. I got to be humble, and I'm not the smartest person in the room when it comes to social media marketing and everything like that. But I do enjoy to learn a lot, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm learning a shit ton of data about everything I could pick, but strategically. I'm not just going to see how to operate $100,000 revenue business. No, I'm seeking, okay, what does a guy with 5 clients do? Now what's a guy with 10 clients do? And so on and so on. So I'm really walking my way through that. I'm not looking for the overnight success. I'm looking to build something strong. And like you probably realize that through our talk, I am a genuine person. I don't like to bullshit about nothing. I don't want to say stupid shit, even though that it happens sometimes anyway, because sometimes you're gonna have to fact check me. But I'm trying to say like the most fact checked thing when it comes to talking about my program and fitness and stuff like that, because the program I'm selling is all about being honest with the boys and giving them the top of the line science regarding workout. So yeah, so keep learning every day, and just working on the business, and working
Yes.
in the business, and working outside of the business. There's all that spectrum of not just working in and on the business, but I'm trying to work outside to see myself outside. So it's like I say, I'm really new to that, and I'm enjoying the process a lot. And I'm sure that 5 years from now, I'm going to talk about that podcast right now and see myself, and I say, "Oh man, did you see that guy? What a fucking dumbass!" But I mean, this all part of the process, and I know I'm going to enjoy to see that podcast 5 years from now.
Yeah, and we talked about overnight success, mate. You know, it is. It's a slow, gradual process. Everyone wants the rapid results. So we understand, you and I, that we're both entrepreneurs, but we understand the grind and the hustle and what it takes to get to that stage. And overnight success doesn't happen, you know, like that. It takes a lot of work, and you know, people don't see the hard work and the pivotal moments that happen, or the duration, you know, to get from point A to point B. But what would be some advice that you could share to give to aspiring entrepreneurs on their journey?
Advice. I'm not too big on advice because everybody's different on that regard. But if it can help, I mean, just make that first step. Okay, that was for me the biggest the fear, the fear I had about making that first step, and to invest in yourself. Sincerely, you have to invest in yourself. The moment I start putting money out on the table to invest on myself, I start to have like the better and the craziest results. Okay, I was always evolving. Like I say, I've been working out a lot. I've been all my life. I've been curious about all type of knowledge about like biography of Arnold Schwarzenegger. The first one. I'm not talking about this latest, but the first one that was not written by him. Uh, I was always interested about people that had like bigger than life uh, aura around them, and how I could emulate that. But really, result and knowledge, true knowledge, came when I put out some money out of my pocket and start to invest in myself with that mentoring 2 years ago with the program. And you cannot, I mean, you cannot read a book if you don't buy it. So you cannot have the knowledge of the book if you don't buy it. Okay. So maybe today you can, there's a PD, but you get the essence of it. So the same thing is true. You cannot extract the information of a multi-millionaire if you don't pay for it at some point. Or unless that you're lucky, you're in the same car, the same elevator, and you get to have a chat with a guy. The thing is, if you want a great mentor and being part of the program that works or something like that, that's the main thing. So if I had something to say about that, the advice would be don't fear to lose money when it comes to your growth and knowledge. Just go pocket deep and invest.
That's some great advice, mate. It's interesting just hearing you talk about that. I reflect on the amount of money I've spent over the years on personal development, and I've spent fucking thousands of money to just better myself. And I was talking to an entrepreneur the other week on my podcast, and she's I think invested close to $500,000 on just mentorship. She's very much that. Yeah, she's very much a fitness enthusiast. And it is, you do get that return on investment, but people are very apprehensive and fearful about putting a large quantity of money in because it's hard to navigate your way through this whole thing we call life, because there are people out there that unfortunately are scammers, and it's sometimes difficult for people to differentiate between the good ones and the fake ones. But you and I are both very, very lucky. You know, we jumped on this program, and I can't believe the transformations that we've all made. And that was really some really good advice, mate, that you just shared there. I think people that are listening to this, just don't be afraid to put a bit of extra money into yourself, because, yeah, it pays off dividends, doesn't it, mate?
Of course it does. And I mean, you're talking about fake and fraud. I've been fucked. I invested, like, it was a program, like, I think it was like 997 or 897, something like that. So I lost $1,000 pretty much. And it was a big, like, the shiny object syndrome. I was looking for everything and anything to make money, because I didn't know at first that the real powerful thing that you can do is to give, actually, before you can receive some money. And I lost money. So I was just throwing money in the internet, buying course after course, and I bought that big course. I won't say the name of the guy, but he's pretty famous on the internet. And so I got fucked, because the thing was, you pay, and it was supposed to be a one-time payment. And after that, he kept picking money on my credit card. So I had a chat with the tech support and everything, and say, oh no, it's just going to be fine. We're going to reimburse you. But at the moment that you reimburse my money, what happened is they locked my system down to get access to the page.
Motherfucker.
Yep. So there's a loss. And yeah, I took some courses to write books. So actually, yes, you guys don't know that, but I have 2 books. I wrote 2 books for kids. Yep. Ethan Parker, the little guy's name is. He's a 10 years old adventurer. So those are pretty fucking good books, by the way.
Amazing, mate.
Yeah. I got like a couple hundred sold. It was great, because my daughter liked my story, so I said I'm going to put them on paper and see what I can do. And yeah, but anyhow, I lost some money because the thing is, the course I bought was shit, totally shit. Like 14 pages PDF and 2 videos, that's it, $500. So yeah, I got scammed. I got, like, you can say fraud, but down the line, if I got scared of investing a bit more and here and there, I wouldn't be the man I am today, or where I am right now today. So don't be afraid. Like, you're going to lose money anyway. I'm sure that lots of you guys out there are losing money right now at a fucking crappy restaurant, paying like $200 for a fucking meal that's worth about $50. We lose money every time. It's just that when we seems to be investing in ourselves and it doesn't just pay tenfold right away the next month, we feel like we've been scammed. The thing is, knowledge is hard to acquire, and you got to work your ass off. So not only you have to pay, but you're paying to work. So this is, like, I think, the setback that people have when it comes to investing in themselves.
Yes, yeah. So for inspiring entrepreneurs, Max, people that are, I guess, in a situation where they've lost money, they're not getting a return on investment, they're feeling pretty fucking depressed, they just feel like quitting, and they've just hit rock bottom. And you and I know that the grind is always going to, it's like the tide. It comes in, it comes back out, and there's going to be upsets, there's going to be losses, you're going to have to overcome obstacles and adversity. But you made a good, valid point there, mate. You are the man you are today from those experiences, from going through adversity, pushing through obstacles and hardships, and just enduring all the setbacks that sometimes life tends to throw our way. But what should that person do, mate, if they're in a position like you were, where they've invested the money and they just haven't got a return on investment? They're feeling pretty depressed. Maybe their romantic life isn't going too well. What should that person do?
Well, I'm going to say something that I've heard before, and it's you have to have a clear vision, okay? But we tend to hear that a lot. Have a clear vision of your objective. I have a clear vision of your goal. But the thing is, it's all we hear. But to have a clear vision, you have to sit like really in a quiet place and borderline meditate about it. But you're going to have to ask a question to yourself. To have a vision is to ask a question. You ask yourself some question, and through those answers, maybe your vision is going to change just a fraction of what you think you had as a vision. And then you'll know what your next move is going to be. Because what happened, like I'm talking for myself, the thing was, I had a vision. I wanted to be an entrepreneur. Well, that's a pretty fucking large vision, if you tell me. Okay? And as you know now, you have to niche down until the focal point, the focus point is so small that you cannot miss. So the thing is, people that, like I was, trying to invest in themselves, not knowing where and how and on what do they invest. This is the problem for them. So, okay, you want to be an entrepreneur, fine. What are your qualities? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Okay, this is two important questions you gotta ask yourself. But you're not gonna ask those fucking questions sitting around the table, having a coffee, watching Netflix. You're gonna have to go deep down, looking at in the fucking mirror, see your face, looking through your soul for asking those fucking questions, or else you will not have an honest answer. So, to be able to not quit and keep investing in yourself, you have to ask yourself and be really fucking honest about it. The answer that you're gonna put on that piece of paper. Strength, weaknesses. What do you want? How much money do you want? Are you really needing that much money? Because people tend to say, I want 10 million, $20 million. I want a yacht. You know how much fucking responsibility come with 20 millions a year in a yacht? You got some fucking big responsibility that down the line of having that money. You're not going to be just enjoying life sipping margarita. You're going to work your fucking butt off. There's going to be fucking setbacks. You're not going to enjoy life every fucking day because many people is going to depend on you. Because if you make that much money, many people's making money because of you making money. So they're working for you and the stress that comes along. And I mean, you got to be really focused on what is you want to do when you're investing in yourself. For example, just having let's play dumb. You want to you learn to play ukulele. Okay, let's just imagine that, okay? For a bit of fun. And okay, you want to play ukulele. Don't go see a fucking guitar player ukulele. He's going to be good at ukulele, but not as much as the other guy that plays only fucking ukulele. Just to narrow it down the example I'm putting here is you got to be precise on where and how you want to be investing your money to where you want to go with your self-development.
It's interesting, mate, just listening to that, what you just said. I was getting goosebumps, mate, just listening to that. You know, it was inspiring. It was very, very well articulated, mate. Thank you for sharing that. And I think a lot of inspiring entrepreneurs, I think, can listen to this and just reflect on that the upsets and the downs is all part of the learning experience. It's like any fucking superhero movie that we watch. We know Batman's parents died. That's why he's Batman. You know, the whole idea of a superhero is he goes through the darkest depths of, you know, who he is as a person to reinvent himself. And men, unfortunately, we must go through adversity to become men. You know, we understand it's our duty to protect, provide, to leave a legacy, to make a positive impact and add something to the world. And I think you reflect on all the past traumas and the hardship that you've overcome. And I reflect on my own hardship and traumas. And I wouldn't be the man that I am today if I hadn't have gone through that. And even though it fucking sucked, I think there's a lot of wisdom and information that people can just get out on what you just said, mate, because that was very fucking uplifting. So how do you stay adaptable, mate? And how do you approach new obstacles in your entrepreneurial journey?
Oh, that's a fucking good question. Wow. Yeah. Adaptability. Yeah. Everybody is like speaking about balance, work life, family balance. There's no such thing. All right. Balance. When you talk about balance, there's always be a milligram more on one side. Have you ever tried to put a scale like those old one, really like a level? Pretty much an impossible task. Okay.
Like a fucking ruler. You stick a ruler on a, and then maybe 2 cups of water and
original balance, like the scale, the original scale, right? Unless you have those milligrams really dialed in and you get the perfect one, it's impossible. All right, it is. If you go in just like trying to pick a piece of this and a piece of there and trying to balance everything, because that's what life's about. Life's not going to hand you down like 14 grams a piece of metal and another 14-gram piece of metal. No, fuck that. Life's going to throw you a big fucking rock, and on the other side is going to be 3 feathers, and you're going to have to deal with that. So work-life balance for me doesn't exist. It's integration. You got to integrate. Okay, so the perspective I have about doing what I'm doing right now, because it's kind of hard, but I enjoy it. I like the suck. I like the friction. Frictions make man. Frictions makes a man be better. Frictions make everything better. You need frictions to operate on a higher level. So what I'm doing, I integrate. Like for instance, today, before the podcast, we were having the chat about that hectic day I had. So something came up and I had this, and this to do. Something else came up. So I said, okay, priorities, values. Okay, now I'm going to just do this and this. And then something else came up and now calculations and and okay, now I'm just going to do this. And something else came up. So now I was like, I'm going to have to integrate that fucking shit in my day right now. And that's my priority. So all I had to do was a list of things that I found that it was important during the day. And it narrowed down to that fucking, my training, obviously my race, that like for me had to be integrated. So while I was preparing dinner, I was lacing up my shoes, and I was cooking something else, putting on my shirt, and then kissing my girls. I'm be back in about half an hour, and then putting on the other shoes, lace it up, start the watch, went out the door, running. All right? No, just run. I got to run today. I got to run. So I did it. I integrated it in my day. So that's what you have to do with everything that really is important for you, for your next objective. And that's it. So I did all my thing about my business. So that was out of the way. Now I had time for me. So I integrated what has to be done during the day. So integration is the key word you want when it comes to put all that in place. Fuck balance. Fuck balance. Yeah. You cannot be balanced if you want to operate on a higher level. Fuck that shit.
Yeah. I love that, Max. Love that, mate. What does being a man mean to you, Max? So when I ask that question, there's a lot of shit and bullshit and fuckery going on in the world right now with woke culture. It's starting to leak in Hollywood. You know, you're seeing people like Harry Styles wearing a dress. John Cena walked up on stage at the Oscars butt naked. People are confused about, especially young boys, you know, they're confused. They don't have really a guidance of what it means to be a man. And you and I are very lucky, mate. You're a little bit older than me, but I was very lucky. I grew up watching my idols on the big screen: Jean-Claude Van Damme, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Bruce Lee, Sylvester Stallone. We had some action stars, mate. We had some guys that we wanted to look up to. And I think young boys, mate, they're confused as fuck about what it means to be a man. But what do you think being a man means to you?
It's a deep question. On a surface level, everybody knows really what a man is. But like the deeper version of a man, what a man should be, it really depends, first of all, where you are in the world. Let's start with that, because not everybody, like people in the Middle East, their version of manhood, and how to be a man in a house is not the same thing as in North America or probably in Sydney, Australia. So let's just throw that out of the way. But being a man is really to be able to adjust to any situation and be prepared at all time for any situation. I mean, a man, for me, is being a father as well. So down the line, you're just a kid, you grew up, and you're trying to emulate your idol, your hero. And like you said, like nowadays, people on TV, the guys on TV dress up like whatever they want and stuff like that. So that's the kind of image that our youth are watching right now. And I mean, it's not supposed to fuck them up, but for some kind of way it does, because I think that the parents are not just speaking about the effect that it can have on them. That's one thing. But for me, a man should be a father. You should be a father down the line somewhere. Or else you're still a man if you like apply all what is a man is for you. Because I don't know how really to answer the question about what's a man. Because for some dude, being a man is to be able to shit out of anybody, and because there's those type of men, like, I got to be strong, I got to be like with no emotion, I've got to be strong, stoic figure,
Stoicism.
Yeah, which is good, but not all the time. Not with a 7 years old daughter. You know, you got to open up your emotion when you're with your daughter, as well as with your son. So it's like kind of a personal question that is really hard to answer. I mean, but really, okay, let's break it down. For me, being a man is being a father, being able to be as tender, as kind and loving, and as brutal and violent as push come to shove. Okay, you've got to be really on spectrum of the chart when it comes to being a man. You have to be able to like be extremely articulated, but you have to not that way. But I mean, you got to be able to speak with dumb people for people to understand, and you have to resonate like Jordan B. Peterson, something like that. You know, you have to be on both sides of the spectrum when it comes to be a man. And I don't know if I express myself clearly on that topic, because I never really reflect of what it is for me to be a man, but deep down is being a father and be on both sides of the spectrum. You don't want to be staying on the middle.
Yes, I think you fucking nailed it, mate. I think you made some really good, valid points there. I think I heard this. Someone said you should be able to slit a throat and hold a baby at the same time. It's grotesque, and it's very, very kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Well, it is. It's just very upsetting, but it has a point. So what I guess that basically means is, and I always reflect on my martial arts journey and what it means to be a kind-hearted and benevolent person, but being able to, one, defend myself, but also inflict violence if I have to, but it's then learning how to control it. So Jordan Peterson uses that analogy. A harmless man is not a good man. A dangerous man is a good man, but has it under voluntary control. And what it means to be a man is to be strong, masculine, to be a good role model, and especially a good role model for your children, and being a person that, you know, has the ability to give guidance, to guide people in the right direction. And I think these are kind of how we are, you know, how we've evolved from Paleolithic times. And I think, yeah, young boys especially, mate, they're confused about what it means to be a man. But I think it's embracing what we were talking about, the life lessons and the hardship and the adversity and the setbacks and the obstacles that we have to overcome to get to that place to where we want to be. Men have to go through trauma. They have to go through hardship and obstacles to become better. You know, we have to go through that. You know, that's what it means to be a man. And I mean, you know, being on the Titanic wasn't fun. Being in World War II wasn't fun. Going through the Great Depression wasn't fun. So I think that men throughout time and history have shown us that men go through struggle. We go through adversity. We understand that we have a journey in ourselves, and we understand that these are all building blocks to becoming the man that we're supposed to be. And then we utilize our experiences and our life lessons to actually guide the next generation. And I think it's important, mate. Mentorship is so important. And I think kids especially need strong fathers. And what you're doing, mate, and encouraging dads out there to be that 1% better, and not just physical health, but also you dive deep into personal development. And you're in just an inspiration, mate, to the dads out there. But we'll talk about your program, mate. So when dads come and sign on, what do they get out of the program?
Well, what I've built recently is the Legacy 90 program. So basically, I take a father who's just like feel healthy and need to lose weight. So like I said, I niched down to help more. That's basically what I did. So people that need to lose weight, they come to me, and what I start to doing is it starts soft. Week 0, all right? We're implementing. You're starting to learn what you're going to learn. We start with that. And after that, it's just straightforward. Week 1, 7 days of exercise. And you jump and you dive right in. The thing is, the week 0 is just like that little bridge transition to have the man realize that, okay, he's in. Because I'm just giving the guy 3 days of workout, and the other day is just walk and nothing else. Okay, there's not a lot of information on week 0 except the sheet that the to-dos list, like basic fit tests, 1 rep max and stuff like that, just to prepare the program. And at first, the guys that sign up and the guys I talked about it says, I mean, there's not a lot of stuff in week 0, and that's the thing. I don't want to overwhelm the man that's going to sign in. So that's really the big starting point. I like that a lot, and I don't mind sharing it because it's not a surprise for anyone. It just shows, because week 1, you dive deep and you go head first, and after the call, you're just going to start. You're going to work. You're going to work, but you're going to work smart, and you're going to work out surprisingly not that hard, because I'm going to leave you with enough energy for you to take care of your family. And this is where everything starts to kick in, because all we hear about losing weight these days is 10,000 steps and calorie deficit. That's pretty much it. All right. You need calorie deficit and 10,000 step and work out 2 or 3 times a week. Okay. But there's more to that. There's it's called NEAT. It's non-exercise activity, and it's really left aside except for the 10,000 steps. But all the activity a father doesn't do when he doesn't have the energy, this is calorie surplus. All right. You're too tired, you're not playing with your kids. You're too tired, you're not going to take a walk. You're too tired, you're not making love with your wife. All right. So what I'm doing is I'm just making through the program, men starting to revive. It's like unclogging a big fucking engine out of the dirt and start making roll it again. Okay. And it's funny that you asked that question, because a guy, I'm going to post that tomorrow. Shout out to that man, Fred. His name is Fred. He's just a fucking savage. He lost 12 pounds in 4 weeks.
Wow.
Oh yeah, he's in all the way. Talk about a good client, somebody that listened to the fucking tea. That guy is just on point. All right, he's gonna give me his mensuration tomorrow, but he believes that he lost around 6 to 7 inches of belly tour. Okay,
that's incredible.
Yeah, it is really a fucking machine. And on top of that, he said, you know what, Max? I'm starting to make love again to my wife. I'm starting to have fun at home. So it's all about this, because not pushing the guys too much in the gym, not pushing too much on the treadmill or on the exercise per se. There's a lot of it, but there's not enough to burn the shit out of the guys. So what I'm doing with that program, I'm just starting live a life healthy again and get in line to acquire that discipline that you have for so many other bad things in your life, but you ditch it for the good things. Because everybody's disciplined when it comes Friday night. Like, what's the football of the day in Australia?
Yeah,
That
footy's on a
day,
Friday or Saturday. Yeah,
yeah,
AFL rugby. Yep,
yeah, the rugby. So I'm pretty sure that 75% of the men are pretty disciplined at not missing that fucking match.
facts.
Facts. But it's so hard to get to the gym, isn't it? So yeah, so I play a lot with that little basic psychology at first, and I deep down I dive deeper into psychology further down the line, and of course the workout as well become more and more scientific and data driven for them to have the better result. I'm working a lot with heart rates, working a lot with nutrition, which nutrition to take on different days for different kind of workout. And yeah, I go pretty crazy scientific on my program. Yeah. And of course, the result shows.
Oh, mate, I think I know the individual that you're talking about. I've seen some photographs of him, and mate, he's fucking killing it. He's making some amazing gains. It's incredible. I wrote something on Facebook, Max, and I've read this out a few times, but I read this from time to time, and it just reflects on my mission and what I want to do, because I talk a lot about legacy, and my dad unfortunately passed away back in 2020, and I reflect on death a lot. I think about why we're here on Earth, and life, and what we are and what we're supposed to be doing, and I talk about leaving an imprint in the world, and I talk about leaving a legacy and making a positive impact and having something to give. But I'll read it out to you, mate. So in the end, we all become memories and stories. Our lives are made up of countless moments that shape who we are and how we are remembered. When we leave this world, what remains are the memories we've created and the stories that are shared about us. It is in these memories and stories that our legacy lives on, whether it's through acts of kindness, accomplishments, or the relationships we build. Our legacy is the mark we leave on the world. People will remember you not just for what you have achieved, but for the way you made them feel. It is the impact you had on others that resonates long after you are gone. By living a life filled with compassion, empathy, and love, you can leave a legacy that touches hearts and inspires others to do the same. But how do you want people to remember you, Max? And what would you say? What would be the legacy that you would like to leave on the world? What would be the imprint?
Oh, that's a good question. I never really myself this question. I know my slogan is "Shape Your Legacy," but it's pretty much stopping down to your kids. And I mean, people kind of some people dream about being eternal when it comes to their legacy, and I mean I respect that a lot because it's a hard fucking journey ahead. But I would just be happy if my grandkids speaks of me with passion and love. That would just be good for me. And that's yeah. Never reflect on that question. Actually, it's a good question. Of
Yeah,
course, down the line, because I get a bit emotional when it comes to my family because I really love my family because there's that energy in the house that revolves around truth and love and authenticity. But regarding not my company, Father Empowering, the thing that I'm building right now, if it can persist through times as uh, not a really a community, but a brotherhood of people that just come together and as men are stronger and with the help of each other, we empower each other by being accountable to each other. That would be a great legacy to leave. I would like to, I would like from Father Empowering actually to go through times, and even through my old days, like being 85, hopefully trying to run a couple more races, seeing guys like, oh, you see that, man? That's the founder of Father Empowering. If I take like just top of my head, that would be a great legacy to have.
Yeah. And you touched on materialism. You touched on that it doesn't really fulfill you as such as family, friendship, legacy, leaving a positive impact, adding something to the world. These are all things that I think that make us feel happy, and we thrive in that. We need a community, we need a brotherhood, and that's why I love the Fast Lane Accelerator is, and this is the beauty about the internet. And I know that the internet obviously has a bit of a dark side, but it also has a good side, mate. It was able for you and I to connect, and also we keep each other accountable, mate. We in the Fast Lane Accelerator, we uplift each other. We give some feedback, and that's what I really like about that. And I think men need that, mate. They need a brotherhood. They need people to keep them accountable when they fuck up, when they're going off course, because they're doing it out of an act of care and interest. They want what's best for you. And, yeah, mate, I think what you're doing with Father Empowerment is incredible. But, mate, where can people find you, Max? You're on socials. You're on Instagram.
Yeah, I'm pretty much on Instagram. It's at Father Empowering. You're going to see like Max Online Coaching. I'm working on the other platform a bit with TikToks, but mainly I'm on Instagram. Like, I tried to go on Twitter, and I'm only one man. I'm my one man army right now. So further down the line, it's going to start to be a bit bigger, and I'm going to have people going to help me, like posting some stuff here and there, because I'm 41 years old, all right, and I never really been on social media more than Facebook, posting a couple of pictures of my camping trips, all right?
Yeah.
So if you're talking to a guys that 9 months ago didn't know fucking shit, that I didn't know that I was able to have a professional account on Instagram. So that's the guy you're talking to right now. So right now it's on Instagram, Father Empowering. So that's where you can find me. I'm going to share like tips and tricks for fitness, a bit of science data about fitness as well, a bit of my life and my story. I like to share a lot into my stories. I like that a lot because the one that follows deserves the best. And yep.
Yeah. And, mate, I'm hoping somewhere along the line, we all meet up in person. I'd love to meet you in person, mate. And, Jay and all the boys, it'd be fantastic. We were talking about maybe like I don't know, some sort of success summit in Dubai or, Bali. We have like a house or villa that we pay, and we go there and, we lift weights and we eat steak and we go on hikes, and then we do some more work on personal development, and we do ice bars and walking over hot coal and all that sort of Tony Robbins shit. Like,
that would be fucking fantastic, man.
Yeah, it'd be awesome, mate. Max, it's been a pleasure sitting down with you, man. And thank you so much, mate. I know how fucking busy you are, and people obviously, I think they're going to get a lot of value about what you said, and all the dads out there, mate. You're an inspiration, and I'm hoping, mate, when I get to 41, I'll look as lean and as fucking shredded as you.
Nah, you'll be there. You're gonna get there for sure. For sure. It's not that hard. You just got to do the work. Pay attention. Thanks for. I appreciate it a lot, and all the good comments about myself and everything. I appreciate that a lot. It means a lot. I mean, I didn't know I had such an effect on people. Like, I didn't know, for real. And I am grateful for all the love that people sent to me, and the message of like, keep going, you're inspiring me. I like that I can help a lot. That's what I'm here for, really.
Yeah, I think people just they don't get that sometimes when you're in your bubble, that you can just be the mark that actually inspires and uplifts people, and it's infectious, mate. When when you're at a stage in life where you're as healthy and as fit and you're just thriving, mate. People are it's infectious. People want to be a part of that, and mate, what you're doing is commendable.
Well, thanks a lot. Appreciate that. I mean, I'm just doing my best, for real. It's just I'm trying to help out as many fathers as I can, and if I can help 100, that will be 100. If I can help 1,000,000, it will be 1,000,000. Who knows? I'm just working, and I'm going to keep doing that because that's what I love to do.
Love that, mate. Awesome, Max. We'll keep in touch, mate, but thanks again for jumping on.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me on.
See you, mate. Bye.
Take care. Goodbye.